They can if I send an invite. So what I decided to do is just do the Zoom locally here and record it. So I just started the recording so that we can go through it, and then I could post it to all the Facebook groups.
So is this something like down at Penn, if you're a satellite office, they could come and send the TV down at Penn?
Yeah, they'll be able to, they could post it up after I share it. They can actually. So yeah. Yep. All right. It's 11 o'clock, so we're gonna get rolling here. We got some people that need to get down to Clarkson, and for those that are listening to this, the recording, you're only going to see my screen and not me, so that's a bonus for you. So we are going to go over managing our pipeline from start to finish. How do we take a contact or a lead that we just met, and how do we manage that lead to where we're able to follow the business? Spencer almost fell. Follow the business all the way from the moment we meet them until we close and beyond, right? So if you're anything like me or probably a lot of other real estate agents, we probably struggle a little bit with managing our pipeline as far as lead follow-up goes, or someone that's in the process of shopping for a home and remembering who we have in our pipeline. Well, Command makes that very simple and very easy for us. So we'll start from the beginning, and we'll start right from the first moment that you meet someone and you get them in your Command. So we're going to create a contact. So and everybody can play along on their computer here in the class or at home, whatever. So we're going to click Add Contact. And I guess I should start for any newbie that has never logged into Command. It's agent.kw.com. So that's how you get there, log in with your normal KW login and password, which would be the same to log into your MyKW and everything else. So, all right. So we're going to create a test. That's a wonderful name. Email is going to be atest@gmail.com. And we will make up a phone number. And if you notice, these are the key pieces of information that you want to get when you grab somebody's information, which is name, phone number, email address, right? Anything above and beyond that is a bonus. Get their address. If you have a conversation about their spouse and what their spouse name, you can add all of that information under Add More and About or additional contact information. So for this particular one, you can actually create a tag too. If you met this person at a open house, per se, you can have an open house tag and select it. If you are creating a tag for the first time, let's just say this is pipeline test. You can see that it creates a create custom tag for you. So you can actually create your custom tag right there if you're going to start a new category that you tag people in. And these tags are very important for multiple reasons. One of which, and the most important one, is so you can actually filter out those contacts based on what you're looking for. So you come back in and you want to pull up the list of everybody that you put in your command from open houses. You just select filter by that open house tag and it will pull up all of them. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and we'll just say pipeline test and we'll leave it white. Pipline. It's going to be pipline test. Anyways, you get the gist. I'm not here to spell. All right. So you can add them to your sales pipeline while you're creating them. You click this little box, Add to Sales Pipeline. And then you go ahead and click Create. And what it's going to do is it's going to take me right over to my opportunities, my sales pipeline, so that I can now manage that contact in my pipeline and create an opportunity for them. So what do we want to make this person? It was an open house, so we're going to make them a buyer. Fair? If not, go to opportunities. It should redirect you in a second. If it doesn't, just go ahead and go over to your opportunities. And once you're in there, you're going to create an opportunity. And this is where the nitty-gritty comes in. So you got your market center. If you have a team, you can select the team. What is it? Is it a listing? Is it a buyer? Is it a landlord? Is it a tenant? Who's the owner of that opportunity? And this is where you would select that client, a test. Should come up for me. And of course it won't come up. There it is. Type in test. If you create, or whatever name you created, if you used a different, that was not a requirement. You did not have to use a test. So if there is a co-buyer, so for example, if there was a spouse that you got their information as well, you can, and you linked it properly to the contact, in which that's another class. We'll show how you can link spouses. Some of you guys have done that already. But if they are linked to the contact already as a spouse, you can actually select them right here. It'll automatically populate them as a co-buyer that you can select. Your opportunity name, again, this is going to be test buyer, but it automatically goes last name and whatever opportunity you select. But you can adjust that to whatever you want. If you want to remember, the opportunities in your sales pipeline is how you manage your business. So feel free to cater it to how you work your business. Just use it so that you can actually follow along with your sales pipeline. So here's your custom tags. If you wanted to put a custom tag on them, estimated closing date, you may not have any of this information yet. Maybe you did get their budget. You were talking to them and their budget, let's just say it's $100,000. That's kind of what they're shopping around. And commission rate, typically you're going to be at 3%. So, and then here's where your opportunity phase and opportunity stage is where you're going to set where you place them in your pipeline at the moment. So if this particular person is somebody you just met, and let's say maybe it wasn't an open house, maybe it was, we're out doing our bold contacts and they're saying, you know what? Yeah, I might be looking to buy a house in the next 3 to 6 months. We finish up our lease in April, whatever. Then at that point, you're going to put them under the cultivate stage. So what that means is you're going to actually start to grow that relationship and make sure you stay in contact with them so that you can move them along in the different phases of the pipeline. If you've set already a buyer appointment, then you'll be appointment, right? So question in the back?
Yeah. Do you recommend naming it by the client name, your opportunity? Because here's my thing that I get confused by. I don't always remember the people's names, but I remember the property address.
Exactly. So the question was, do you recommend naming it by the person's name? And as I said, I recommend you naming it however you manage your business. So if it's by names, if it's by address, if it's by however many people have different ways to keep track of their business, people's brains and minds work in a different way. So whatever you use to remember things or to know what it is, go ahead and label it that. It's your labels. You're the only one that sees them. So I would steer away from any, like the old waitress thing, steer away from any weird labels that you put on people and labeling it that way. So
I noticed that the custom tags, so the opportunity tags must be different than the
correct.
client tag.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So and honestly, I haven't gotten too much into the opportunity tags per se. I really haven't dove into them because I haven't seen a need for them yet. But if you imported any of your clients from .loop into your opportunities, you'll notice it would have automatically created. If you look at mine, you can see the imported from .loop tag it created. So it could be something along those lines. If you wanted to know where you got the opportunity, Facebook lead, I don't know, whatever you wanted to label it. So yes, Lillian.
Food for thought. When we start eventually, not now, to freak anyone out, but when we start doing compliance in command and then we start doing not green sheets, but something like that, I wonder if that would affect how you would be naming your opportunities then.
I don't think so.
You had it linked to a specific address, correct?
Yeah, I don't think so, because you are going to have listing. You're going to have an active listing that you actually sync it to, and
Right.
You're going to have your documents that are going to be uploaded, and that's what's going to be uploaded in compliance.
Right.
So the actual opportunity name, I don't think is going to make a difference. So. All right, so we have all of this information. Let's just say this one here is going to be a cultivate, and we're going to nurture. Personally, watch and nurture. I mean, I guess I would put it as maybe red, yellow, green. I don't know. Watch and nurture to me are about the same thing. I would say watch maybe is somebody that says that they're a long time out, and nurture would be like, yeah, we're going to be soon. And then you have hot, who's like, yeah, I'm ready to get started next week. I don't know, whatever it might be. Again, it's up to interpretation on however you manage your lead source. You have people like, Jeff Glover that says a lead is anybody that's looking within the next 7 days. And then you have some other ones that maybe are 30 days or 60 days, or so it's whatever you think is. So we're going to create this opportunity. And now once we're in here, you can see it pops up our details section. And within this details section, there's a lot of different things that you can do. As of right now, you can click on the pencil and they continue to add things. So some of you guys may have found some stuff within opportunities if you've been in there messing around that I haven't found yet, just FYI. But within this, if you needed to update anything, you can actually click on the pencil and you can update information. If you collect another piece of information, if you have an appointment scheduled, you can put this in your appointment scheduled. If you want an agreement. So you can see all the different things that you can actually put in there, right? But if we go back over to our actual sales pipeline, you can now see if I click under my cultivate, I have my test buyer right here under the nurture. So to make things easy, if you're now that you have them entered and you've been working with them, talking with them, whatever, at that point, you're able to secure an appointment for a buyer consultation, right? So what I can do is I can actually grab this particular client and I can go up here and just drag them right up to appointment, drop them in there, and it moves them from cultivate over to appointment. So now you can see that it's over in my scheduling appointment section. So easy way to quickly move. Did everybody get a chance to do that? No? Okay. What are you hanging up on? Under your, so again, we'll go back here. Under your actual opportunities pipeline, you see your listings buyer. I went under cultivate because that's where I put them. So I'm checking all of my, who am I working on right now? Who am I cultivating? And I just set an appointment with them. So I moved them to appointments. So now they're under appointments. So now that I've actually, and if you see the little dots, it's under scheduling. I can continue to move it throughout. So if you just take a look up at the screen and you can keep moving them along. And if you need to add some more information, see the little 3 dots, I can actually view details and edit whatever I need to. So once I get to the point where I have an actual offer,
Sorry.
this lady in the front is terrible on computers.
It could be any one of us.
All right, so now that we have them, we can actually put, so I'm going to go back real quick because I wanted to show you guys something. So we have them in appointments, and we move them to active or under contract. But once we go to under contract, and this, again, if you look at the different stages, and we're going to try to stay until 11:30, but I wanted to get to the active and under contract where you can actually edit some stuff. So if you look at the different stages, you have scheduling, scheduled, and kept, right? Those are the stages that you have within appointments. So again, even those, and once you get to, all right, I kept my appointment, I now have them active. I've signed a buyer agency agreement with them. We're going to start showing them houses, right? Does that make sense to everybody? The process we're working through here. So I grab them, I go ahead and put them under active. And now I can go over here to the active stage and see that they're right under here, under my searching. So this would be, you set up a home search for them, but we haven't went out and actually looked at houses yet. Then once you start showing them houses, you can move them over to showing. Whoops, I accidentally clicked the stinking wrong button. Let's try that again. All right. Wait till the hang comes up. Don't click at the top because then you'll just go to the details. And then from showing, you go to negotiations, and then there's one more in this one. and that's legacy, which I haven't figured out the whole title of legacy and why they call it legacy. Maybe Dan, do you know why they call that section? So I don't really understand it. I don't know what legacy stands for, but use it however you want to use it. So to me, I go from negotiations to under contract. I don't know where the legacy falls into play, but it's there. So maybe someone listening can comment on the video when I share it, and they can tell me what they use it for. That'd be great. So we've gotten an offer accepted, and we now get under contract. So once we are under contract and everybody's been through this stage, this is the fun one, right? Escrow, inspection, appraisal, financing, and then we're clear to close. So that's the pipeline that everybody's used to managing. The stuff before that is where we all lose business, right? That's where we have all these leads, or we have people that we forgot to call back, or we have, and not everybody, I won't say everybody, I'll just say myself, that I forgot because I didn't have a good way of actually tracking my sales pipeline, or whatever it might be. Or, someone's not ready now and we forgot to cultivate them. And next thing we know, that person that we talked to that said that they might buy next year, they just bought a house with somebody that we knew. And I was like, you son of a gun. So it happened to probably everybody, and it's our fault. It's not their fault. It's our fault. We didn't follow up. We didn't do our job. So that being said, with that, we have them in escrow and we go through these steps. But when we get to a certain point, we go into here. Now that and this works for listing as well. So I know we're doing the buy side, but this works for listings as well. At this point, you can actually start putting your financial information in. Now that we're under contract or we have offers. So if you go under offers, you can add a new offer. And let's just say this is the initial offer. We're going to call it that. And we create the offer. And to me, this is more valuable to me on the list side, especially if you're in a multiple offer scenario, because you can actually enter multiple offers in here and then compare them. And you can share that with your seller. Exactly. Instead of handwriting all the things, or you have all the contracts or whatever, you can actually put, so let's just go through and we'll do a couple real quick. We got a couple minutes for that. So we'll just say offer date's fine. We do have to search for a property address. So we'll use one of mine because I know it's in there and it's not sold yet, unfortunately. So we're going to use that one. So we're going to go Burning Tree. And so we have our information, the offer date, close date. So offer date would likely be the day you wrote the offer. Close date would be the day that you need to accept the offer or accepted by, right? So, or you can select from KWLS if you need to, and that would pull up property listings if you're picking one. So let's just go to Parties to move on. So because this is a buyer opportunity, it fills in the buyer name for me. Along with me as being the realtor, we can say that they're pre-approved or pre-qualified. And then you can put a seller. If you don't know, just fill anything with the red star, which everybody probably knows by now. That's where it requires some information to be entered. If you don't know the seller's name, which you probably will if you're writing a contract, but if you don't, you can put unknown or whatever. Associate's name, let's just say this one is going to be Dan Hunt. Congratulations, Dan. And then we go over to terms. So here's where we can actually put in the terms of the offer that we received or that we sent. Let's just say this was $100,000. They're going to do a conventional, and they're going to do $20,000 down and finance $80,000, comes out to the $100,000 mark. What's the earnest money amount that we're going to do? Let's just say they decided to put 1% down, $1,000 EMD. Option fee, I believe that this is for any office administrative fee. Yeah, so $295. I believe that's what that's. Okay, I think we're back in.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if it's still recording. Good. All right. Sorry about that internet dropout. So All right, we got our option fee in here, and if there's any seller contributions, you can actually put them in here as well. For example, this one here, let's say they ask for 2,000 in seller contributions,
What's
right?
the difference between that and service, I guess?
This was a residential service contract. I don't really know that. Again, probably somewhere else, not in our area or market. Maybe someone can answer that question. I don't know, but and then of course settlement costs is just that's
Is that a
so
warranty, maybe? Residential services, is that maybe where you
could be. Yeah, that's a good option. I like it. Let's just say that's true. That is completely accurate. Good work. All right, pros and cons. You can even do your little agent analysis on here so that they can see the pros and cons of that deal. So some things here might be conventional. It's a conventional mortgage. That's a pro. If there's a con, maybe the con is it's contingent on the sale of their home, or maybe the con is that I don't know, whatever contingency or something negative about that particular loan that could be something that you want to bring up to the, to your client, your seller, or whatever. Make sense? Yeah, there you go. For anybody that watches this from Quicken Loans, we apologize. Just kidding. Anyways, so you can add, again, now I can add a new offer. If I ended up getting another offer in here, I can throw it in here. And then once you add a listing, you can actually, if you see the screen, it says add listing to enable offer landing page. So once you add a listing, and I have to go through and do this, and I'm not going to add a listing because I don't want to tie someone's listing to my thing in a test, but you can generate an offer URL that you can send to your seller or your buyer, if it's whatever, to show them the offers. And then you can call them up and go over those offers with them. So pretty cool little feature. I think that's a bonus, an added feature that is really cool. So give that a try.
It puts the landing page together for you, so you don't have to do it.
Correct.
Oh, cool.
So, and this, for the sake of time, maybe we can do that in the workshop or something else to just get a feel for what it looks like. That way you can test it out before you send it off to a client, right? So you can also add notes and commissions. If you notice right now, commissions is grayed out, and well, they put a little thing here. So once you accept an offer, so let's say you click accept, now your commissions tab opens up to where you can go in here and you can put in and this is where green sheets are going away, and where basically this is replacing green sheets, where you can actually put in your royalty, your company commission, anything else that you need deducted, and what your total amount for that particular offer that got accepted is going to be, such and such. So it really breaks it down for you, and it's got this little sidebar here to where you can add a note to it, and then once you get it all, you hit submit. So
Is there any link to DocuSign for all of this?
yes.
Will there be a link to
There is,
DocuSign?
yep, and there already is a link to DocuSign. Unfortunately, our MLS has not been loaded yet. They're having to go through and load all the different MLSs. We do have documents in there. As of right now, I just looked yesterday or the day before. However, because we're not linked to our MLS yet, we can't add those documents to our individual forms. We can save them to our computer, upload and use them through DocuSign, but we can't just automatically load them to our form. So that's coming soon. We've heard a couple of days. I think it's a matter of getting DocuSign to get all the things uploaded, I believe. So it's just partnering with all the different MLSs. They do have several of them already in there, but that would be under your document section right here.
So we didn't do the analysis, because I don't know that I would see, at least right now, I don't know that I would see Michelle doing analysis in here, just because the properties are turning really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I would still have to put the offer in here when the green sheet goes away. The final offer.
Correct.
I don't necessarily have to put all the offers that might come in on a property.
Correct.
I just put the one that's accepted, and then the green sheet should autofill for me.
The green sheet won't exist. Yeah, it'd be that you're submitting. What we just looked at over here in
Okay.
commissions is what's being submitted, along with your documents you're going to have to upload. So, and I guess, so the question or the comment was that you would not be you wouldn't have time to enter your offers in here. And I would say, I would challenge that and say, how are you accurately relaying multiple offers to your client now in a way that provides the best customer service? And if there is a way, I'm not saying there's not. My question is, what other ways are there that are so much faster?
I have a 72-hour listing right now, and we got another offer on it 2 days ago. And I didn't know you could put competing ones in there. So they have another couple hours to go, and then we're gonna have to sit down with the seller over the phone. So right now I'm putting in those 2 offers. And I probably won't do it a ton, doesn't come up that often.
Right.
But just kind of something nice and professional, I think it's good.
Yeah. And again, this isn't like it's a mandatory thing. It's just something that will enhance your business if you do not have a way to actually provide that service now. Right. So, but I would think the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. And because you can go in there and put several offers in and put them, if you do have multiple offers, you have to go through and read the offers anyway. And so you're either calling them or you're typing it or writing it somewhere to share with them. So if you're only calling, then they can't actually see it, because a lot of people are visual. They can't actually see what the offer is. You're telling them the offers, and then, or if you're going over and sharing it with them, you're spending that time to go there as well, right? So
maybe it's just different because of the admin link, the time it takes. I mean, so maybe it's different.
It will be, and it's going to be based on, the time it takes also is based on the comfortable level that you are working in the system, right? Anything new takes a long time to figure out. It's just bottom line. It's just, the more you use something, the quicker you can do it. So, but that's a fair statement. So once we have everything done and we can move these individuals, because we have like 3 minutes left. So again, that was I believe we moved them under contract, didn't we? So they're now under contract to closed. You close the deal. And actually, I'm not going to move them to close because then it will add to my financials, and I'm not going to, so I'm going to archive it. But which I'll show you guys. You can actually, if you move these guys out of under contract, you can actually archive them and get rid of the opportunity, or you can go in here and lost opportunity. So if I click lost opportunity, please describe why it was lost. You can put in there, I'm just going to put test opportunity just because. But you could put in there, maybe it was contingent on the sale of their home, and their home didn't sell, and they just want to wait now. Whatever it is, you can remove that opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and save that and count it as a lost opportunity at this point, just so that it's not in my financials for my sales pipeline. And what I mean by financials is right here to the right. And this is the coolest part, at least in my opinion. If you are using opportunities properly and you're able to effectively manage your pipeline, you can project your finances, your commissions. And this is based off, percentages of, for example, if you have, the further you move an individual down the listing pipeline, it goes from potential to probable. So if you have an appointment, it's potential income. If you have an active listing, it's potential income. Once you get it under contract, it moves to probable income at that point, because not all listings sell. Ideally, we'd like to sell every listing, but not all of them sell, or not all buyers end up buying. So it goes from, as you move them along the pipeline, you can see what you have in the works and coming up, and really manage your business like you should be managing a business. Does that make sense? These are all based off your opportunities that you have entered with your numbers based on sales price or what their budget is in commission. So if you have someone that has a budget of $200,000 and you've done 3%, and they end up buying a house $150,000, yes, your income's going to be, it's going to shift once you enter the actual accepted offer, right? And it will shift the funds, and then we'll go to probable income. and you can actually see down here in your ratio, listings, buyers, and probable and potential, what you're working with right now. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. There are other intricate details such as staging steps and stuff that you can do within. So for example, I'll show you real quick and then we'll be done. But if you go into here, view details, and I believe it's under, I don't know if they moved the stages or not. They might have actually. There you go. So you got different, you can actually view and add items to your checklist for that stage. So for example, if you are under the staging, let's just say it was staging, and you wanted to add and create a template for staging, I need to order the sign to be put in the yard. I need to order the pictures for the house. I need to actually stage a house if that's something you're doing. Whatever it is that you do in your business to prep a house for sale, you can build a checklist, and that way you can track the progress of where that home is. So, yes.
Will I get that message anywhere else? When, like, I open the homepage, or if I have a checklist due or something like that, or do I have to go into each individual opportunity and look at my checklist?
Nope, you'll have a due date here. You'll set a due date for each stage, and we'll wrap up with this so the folks can go to Clarkson. If you do enter stages and you have it due, here's the due date, and it will pop up here if it's due.
Okay.
Yep, same thing with this.
Smart plans, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it'll pop up in your task, and right here is where you would see your opportunity task. So there's your opportunities, there's your contact task. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the next, and we'll stop recording from there. And the next 30 minutes we're going to spend as a workshop. Those that you have to leave, you can.